Hello everyone, good day. I'm Matthew B. Mandurio. I'm your reporter for today and we're gonna discuss about the stages of family cycle. So before we're gonna start the discussion, let me give you a quote. We may have our differences, but nothing's more important than family. So this is from Coco. So now let's proceed for the discussion proper. So today we'll learn about what family cycle means. So we're gonna discuss about family cycle. Then the family cycle theory. We're gonna expound more about the family cycle theory so that you'll understand and the different stages in the family cycle theory. So what is the family cycle? The family cycle is the procedures and phases a family normally experiences during its lifetime are known as the family cycle. It's a sociological method of examining the development of a family and can be applied to investigate the effects of contemporary society on families. Sociologists have always been quite interested in the marriage-family interaction. Marriage and the family are two essential social institutions that go hand in hand. We most likely belong to multiple families during our lifetimes. Here I have an example for you to understand more about the family cycle. A family of procreation is formed by marriage, whereas a family of orientation is one into which an individual is born. In your life, you may belong to any of these kinds of families. The family cycle theory examines the various phases a productive family goes through. A family within an empty nest at the end of it all starts with marriage. The family cycle theory. The family life cycle idea was initially formulated around 1960. It is just one of several resources available in family and marriage therapy. It doesn't apply to many families but can be useful for others. This theory has been updated and there are many alternative theories. The concept of family life cycle is used in this theory to refer to the mental and emotional phases that a family member experiences from infancy to retirement. You encounter obstacles in your family life at each level that provide you the chance to develop new abilities. Gaining knowledge of each stage abilities will enable you to advance from one developmental stage to the next. The cycle in the family. Not everyone goes through these phases without difficulty. Things like a serious illness, financial difficulties, or the loss of a loved one can influence how you move through the phases. However, you can pick up the skills you missed in a previous stage as a subsequent one. Your identity and development will be shaped by the experiences you have during the family life cycle. The more your comprehension of the obstacles associated with every phase of the cycle, the higher the probability of your ability to progress. So here are the 5 stages in the family life cycle theory. The stages of the family life cycle are the independent stage, the most important phase of the family life cycle. Next is the coupling stage. This is learning to be interdependent is the primary objective at this point. Next is the parenting stage, which is one of the most difficult stages of the family life cycle is being a parent. Next from the parenting stage is the launching adult children stage. This stage starts when your first child leaves home and ends with an emptiness. And lastly, retirement or senior years. Retirement can be a wonderful and meaningful period of life. So the first stage is the independent stage. The most important phase of the family life cycle is independence. You begin to emotionally distance yourself from your family as you approach young adulthood. You work to develop your full capacity to support yourself financially, emotionally, physically, and socially throughout this phase. You begin to develop distinct traits and attributes that come to define who you are. The goals of this stage are to acquire the mentality to regard your parents, siblings, and other family members as distinct individuals. Next is to establish close friendships with peers outside of your family and make a name for yourself in your profession or work. So here are other important qualities to develop during this phase include trust, morals, initiative, work ethic, and identity or who you are in this world. The next stage is the coupling stage. The coupling stage could be the next. You can test your commitment to a new family and a way of life by applying the skills you developed during the independence period. Learning to be interdependent is the primary objective at this point. This happens when you can give someone your whole attention in a relationship. You must also have similar goals, and occasionally you'll have to put someone else's demands ahead of your own. The goals of this stage are to establish a new family with your partner, to re-establish a connection with your partner in your friendships and with your family of origin. The life skills you learn in this stage are important in developing true interdependence and the ability to have a cooperative and healthy relationship. Some of the challenges of this stage include transitioning into the new family system. Another is the including your spouse or partner in your relationships with friends and family members. Next is being committed to making your marriage work. And lastly, putting the needs of another ahead of your own. You and your partner will have less stress if the transition into a new family system is smooth. Less stress often means better health. The next interesting stage is the parenting stage, which is one of the most difficult stages of the family life cycle, is being a parent. You'll need to address difficulties, keep up your relationships, and communicate well throughout this phase. Some couples look at surrogacy or adoption as alternative methods of parenthood. Some partners are aware that they want no children. This phase encompasses raising small children as well as raising adolescents. So, in terms of parenting your children, one of the most important emotional processes of this time is helping kids adjust to other connections. You go from being in a relationship to becoming a parent. Together with continuing to develop as individuals, you and your spouse are starting to make decisions that affect your family. Strong bonds are formed when a pair finds a way to show their individuality while yet functioning effectively together. Here are the goals when children join your family are to adjust your relationship to make space for children, take on parenting roles, and adjust your ties with your extended family to reflect your new roles as a parent and a grandmother. Next term is the parenting adolescence. Being a teen parent can be difficult for a family. It could assess your interpersonal abilities. This is also a time for your family to explore and grow positively. Those families with strong bonds get along the best throughout this phase. They concentrate on spending time as a family. They develop via effective communication, problem solving, skills, compassion, trust, and support. You must exercise some flexibility in helping your youngster develop their independence and creativity. Being adaptable to the roles that each member of the family plays is so beneficial. Here are the goals during the stage of parenting teens are to reorient parent-child interactions to promote the child's independence. Next is to begin a shift towards concern for older generations in your extended family. So after parenting adolescents, let's move on to the next stage, which are launching adult children stage. This stage starts when your first child leaves home and ends with an empty nest. Developing adult interactions with your kids is a critical ability at this point. Your children's relationships may make it difficult for you to welcome new family members. You can improve your life through self reflection, education, and counseling. Additionally, they can guarantee a smooth transition to the following stage. So, the goals for this stage are to turn your attention back to the other partnerships. Next is to establish mature connections with your grown up children. And lastly, if your children establish their own families, realign connections to include in laws and grandchildren. At last, the final stage for the family life cycle is the retirement stage or the senior year stage. Your life undergoes a lot of changes as you reach the retirement stage of the family life cycle. As your children get married or divorce, or you become a grandparent, a big part of this era usually involves welcoming new family members or witnessing others depart from your family. Retirement can be a wonderful and meaningful period of life. When your children start dating or you become a grandparent, a big part of this era is either welcoming new family members or saying goodbye to others. Supporting other family members while pursuing your hobbies or putting your connections first might present challenges. So here are the specific goals to reach for at this final stage of your family life cycle, which include preserving your partners and your interests and physical abilities as your body ages. So it's really important that we are still physically active and doing our interests to relieve stress and to support our mental health. Next is exploring new families and social roles. So it is important that we explore new families to encounter new bondings and to create new connections and to also have a new social role. Next is offering your adult children and other family members emotional assistance. So, emotional guidance is really important, especially in the time of right now. Next is making room in the family system for the wisdom and experience of older adults. So, here we can share our experiences and wisdom for older adults to help them and to let them have many more insights. Next is providing support for the older generation without doing too much for them. So, now it's for the time for the older generation to relax and enjoy their time being instead of doing too much. Next is dealing with the loss of a partner, siblings, and other peers and preparing for your own death. So this is the acceptance stage for the retirement stage. And lastly, looking back on your life and considering everything you've encountered and learned. So it is really important that you look back onto your life and reassess everything that you've done and learn from it until you reach the final stage. So that's all for my presentation. I hope you have learned something. Thank you for watching. And since I started my presentation with a quote, I'll also end my presentation with another quote which says, having a place to go is a home. Having someone to love is a family. Having both is a blessing by Donna Hedges. Thank you.